Gautama Buddha once told against compassion that just aims to satisfy. It could distort reality and impede progress. This insightful quotation serves as a poignant reminder that not all deeds of kindness have happy endings. Although compassion is a virtue, it's important to consider its consequences. Sometimes compassion may obfuscate the truth and thwart sincere personal development when it is motivated by a desire to win over people or avoid disagreement. We frequently make an effort to be kind and supportive to others around us as we go through life. We give of our time, effort, and support because we think that doing so will bring about peace and contentment. But it's important to understand that unrestrained kindness can have unexpected results. This gets us to the subject at hand, which is the risks associated with compassion. We will discuss how, occasionally, even the most well-meaning deeds of compassion can result in overcommitting, neglecting our own needs, and being used by others. These difficulties might lead to relational imbalance, emotional weariness, and resentment. Come along as we explore the unspoken risks associated with kindness and discover how to strike a balance between showing compassion and preserving our own health. We may practice kindness in a way that genuinely helps us and those around us by being aware of these traps. Firstly, overcommitting oneself. It's simple to let ourselves get carried away with our acts of generosity. Consider this. People know they can always count on you for support, whether it's at work, among friends, or at home. It feels fantastic at first to be so needed and to help others. However, being there for other people all the time might wear you out. You run the risk of becoming overextended if you consistently say yes to requests. You get so preoccupied with tending to other people's needs and tasks that you neglect your own. This might cause stress and burnout, which will make it difficult for you to go about your everyday life normally. It is critical to understand your limitations. Being selfish is not the goal of setting limits. It's about protecting your energy so that you may stay kind to yourself without becoming hurt. When necessary, practice saying no. Set priorities for your work and make sure you get enough sleep and rejuvenation. Recall that self-care should be a part of compassion. Maintaining your personal health enables you to provide others with sincere, long-lasting assistance. Thus, be aware of your own boundaries and strike a balance between self-care and charitable deeds. The second is neglecting your own needs. We frequently prioritize the needs of others over our own in our effort to be nice. This may cause us to neglect the things that keep us happy and healthy. Imagine being the one to volunteer your assistance, counsel, and support whenever needed. Although this is a great quality, if you're not careful, it might cost you. You risk forgetting to take care of yourself if you are always putting other people before yourself. It can become normal to skip meals, sleep less, and disregard your interests or downtime. This can eventually have an impact on your physical and emotional well-being, making you feel worn out, anxious, and overburdened. Recalling that taking care of oneself is not being selfish is crucial. Before you can properly assist others, you must first take care of yourself, much as when you're ordered to put on your own oxygen mask on a flight. Eat properly and take your time. Take time to enjoy yourself and get proper sleep. By attending to your personal needs, you guarantee that you will have the stamina and well-being to carry on showing compassion and encouragement to others. The key is balance. As you treat individuals around you with the same care and respect, make sure you're also included in your circle of compassion. Being exploited is number 3. Although kindness is a lovely quality, occasionally people may take advantage of it. Imagine being the one who others constantly turn to when they need help, whether it be with money loans, favors, or problem solving. Even if helping others makes you feel good, not everyone will appropriately recognize your efforts. It's possible that some people will take advantage of your compassion by viewing it as a weakness. They could not even express thanks or provide anything in exchange for all the favors they are requesting. Your energy and resources may be depleted as a result of feeling exploited and undervalued. It's critical to identify these instances and establish limits in order to safeguard oneself. It does not lessen your kindness to say no when it is required. It demonstrates your regard for your own health. Consider the requests you get and determine whether or not it is acceptable and just to assist. Have faith in your intuition. Remaining distance from someone is okay if you sense they are abusing you. Concentrate on showing compassion to those who genuinely value and return the favor. Establishing harmonious partnerships based on reciprocal generosity. Make sure you don't feel taken advantage of. You may continue to be nice while attending to your own needs and preserving wholesome relationships by being aware of these circumstances. Encouraging negative conduct is number 4. Although compassion is frequently a virtue, there are situations when it encourages undesirable conduct in other people. Consider a friend or relative who consistently chooses poorly. You always jump in to save them from problems or make up for their errors out of kindness. We may unintentionally keep kids from growing from their acts if we keep doing this. They can start to depend on our assistance and keep making the same errors. Being aware that we are always there to make things right. This hinders not just our own progress, but also theirs. Striking a balance between offering assistance and condoning inappropriate conduct is vital. Urge people to accept accountability for their deeds. Provide direction and assistance, but let them deal with the unavoidable fallout from their choices. They gain strength and learn important lessons as a result. In and of itself, setting limits and taking a step back may be acts of compassion. It demonstrates your confidence in their capacity to manage their own issues and learn from the situation. You help those you care about become more independent and develop personally by doing this. Recall that genuine kindness breaks the cycle of reliance and bad decisions, assisting people in improving and becoming more independent. 5th number. Building reliance. When we try to be helpful to others, we may inadvertently build reliance in them. Imagine yourself being the one to help friends, relatives, or co-workers with their difficulties all the time. Over time, individuals may come to depend too much on you, even while it feels wonderful to be of assistance. People may cease attempting to solve difficulties on their own when they start to rely on your continuous aid. This may hinder their ability to acquire critical life skills and become self-sufficient. You could get overburdened and exhausted if they come to you for help with every small problem. It's critical to support people in coming up with their own solutions. Give them direction and encouragement so they can determine the best course of action on their own, rather than always fixing problems for them. This gives children the ability to develop and learn, boosting their self-assurance and independence. Establishing limits is essential. Make it plain that even while you're there to help, people must accept responsibility for their own difficulties. This harmony keeps everything in check and prevents your goodness from becoming a crutch for other people. In addition to being nice, you may assist others around you grow into stronger, more capable adults by encouraging their independence. Consequently, this makes your deeds of generosity more purposeful and long-lasting. The 6th is emotional tiredness. Though it's great to be nice and sympathetic, there are moments when it might wear you out emotionally. Imagine yourself being there for people at all times, listening to their issues, consoling them, and supporting them. Although this is a lovely way to live, if you're not careful, it can also be very taxing. Giving out your emotional energy to other people all the time might leave you feeling exhausted and overburdened. Your mood may be affected by this emotional tiredness, leaving you feeling worn out, agitated, or even melancholy. Attempting to pour from an empty cup is the analogy. What you don't have, you can't offer. It is crucial that you look after your own mental well-being in order to prevent this. Don't forget to schedule some time for yourself so you may unwind and refresh. Take time to read, meditate, spend time in nature, or just take a break and do anything that makes you happy and at ease. Financial burden is number 7. Although generosity is an essential component of compassion, mishandling it can have a negative financial impact. Consider regularly giving friends loans, making charitable contributions, or purchasing presents to express your concern. Despite the excellent intentions behind these behaviors, they may strain you financially. Giving more than you can afford can have an impact on your capacity to save money for the future and pay for your own obligation. This might eventually cause tension and anxiety about your financial status, which will make it harder for you to be stable on your own. Limiting your giving is essential to preventing financial burden. Make a budget that allows for giving, but prioritize taking care of your own needs. It's acceptable to turn down requests that cost more than you can afford, or to find other non-monetary methods to be helpful. Recall that taking care of your finances is a type of kindness, both to you and to others who depend on you. You may continue to provide assistance without jeopardizing your personal security if you practice sound financial management. By striking a balance between giving and budgeting, you can be sure that your good deeds will last. This establishes a beneficial circle of stability and support by enabling you to look after your own financial well-being while simultaneously helping others. Never hesitate to ask for help from others when you need it. Regaining emotional equilibrium and processing your own feelings might be facilitated by speaking with a friend, member of your family, or a professional. Recall that it's okay to put your health first. You can make sure you can keep being nice and helpful to others without burning out by taking care of your mental health. You and those around you will both benefit from this equilibrium, which enables you to show true compassion and caring. The eighth is putting off personal objectives. Sometimes we lose sight of our own objectives and aspirations in our drive to assist others. Imagine dedicating your time and efforts to helping others without fail. While this is a good and giving way to live, it may not leave much space for your own goals, whether it is by lending a hand with their projects, listening to their issues, or taking on more tasks. It's possible to ignore your own aspirations and objectives when you are preoccupied with other people. This may eventually cause you to feel dissatisfied and frustrated. You may begin to question why you aren't moving closer to your goals and what happened to your own ambitions. It's critical to keep in mind that your objectives and aspirations have equal value to those of the people you love. Allocate a specific time slot for pursuing your personal hobbies and objectives. Set goals for yourself and create a strategy to reach them. Kindness and personal development go hand in hand, keeping you focused on your own journey. Saying no to others when it's necessary to prioritize your own objectives is acceptable. You may experience the satisfaction and fulfillment that come from following your aspirations by doing this. Recall that when you tend to your own dreams, you also serve as a role model for others, demonstrating that you can be compassionate and achieve your own objectives at the same time. Might motivate those in your vicinity to follow suit. Kindness and personal development coexist in harmony in such a balanced existence. Building resentment is the ninth point. Being nice is a great quality, but if it's not handled with caution, it can occasionally result in animosity. Imagine never getting much in return for the time, effort, or support you provide to others. This one-sided relationship has the potential to make you feel undervalued and taken advantage of over time. Putting the needs of others above your own without acknowledgement or reciprocation can lead to a continual state of anger and resentment. You might begin to feel that others are taking advantage of your generosity, which could make you resentful of the people you're attempting to assist. It is crucial to make sure that your connections are reciprocal and balanced in order to prevent resentment from growing. It's critical to express your demands and feelings honestly. Inform people when you feel overwhelmed or in need of assistance. Mutual respect and understanding are fostered by this. Set limits as well in order to safeguard your mental health. Verify that you are not putting in more effort or offering more than you can manage. Setting priorities for your needs and stepping back when needed are acceptable. You may remain kind without experiencing resentment if you keep up connections that are balanced and healthy. This strategy makes sure that your generosity endures and that you get the credit and assistance you are due. Recall that genuine kindness flourishes in an atmosphere of reciprocity and respect for one another. 10th position. Effect on relationships. Although kindness is a beautiful trait, it can harm relationships if it isn't used in moderation. Whether in your relationships with friends, family, or lovers, picture yourself as the one who constantly gives, supports, and makes the sacrifices. Even if it can seem proper to do this in the long run, it might lead to an imbalance. If you are the one who continually gives, people may come to expect it from you and become ungrateful. This may result in partnerships that are one-sided and ignore your needs and emotions. You could begin to feel undervalued and underappreciated, which can lead to conflict and unhappiness. Kindness must be reciprocated in order to sustain wholesome relationships. Promote candid discussion about requirements and expectations. Tell your loved ones when something is upsetting you or when you need help. Everyone feels appreciated in this more harmonious dynamic. Establishing limits is also essential. Make sure you're not sacrificing your own health in order to provide too much. It's acceptable to set boundaries and take time for oneself. This keeps others from being resentful and makes sure your kindness doesn't end up being a burden. You may establish a supportive atmosphere where kindness strengthens rather than weakens your relationships by encouraging mutual respect and support. Deeper, more satisfying relationships, where everyone feels valued and cared for, are made possible by this balance. As we come to an end, keep in mind that compassion is a strong and lovely attribute. However, it needs to be balanced with awareness and self-care. By establishing boundaries, putting our own needs first, and encouraging respect for one another, we may manage our relationships and lives with more awareness when we recognize the inherent risks associated with unbridled compassion.